Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Nick Kangadis from MRC-TV, and welcome back for another helping of your favorite anti-socialist show, Uncommon Sense. Today's Golden Jackass goes to two people. One is Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and the other is Chicago Police Department Superintendent Eddie Johnson. Emanuel is way more deserving of a Goldie, especially since I still respect Johnson, but the display put on Wednesday by both Emanuel and Johnson classify them both as worthy recipients. In the wake of the deadliest year in Chicago since 1996, Emanuel and Johnson held a press conference to detail their plans for a safer Chicago. Chicago is my hometown, and looking at what Emanuel and people like him have done to my once great city, I couldn't stay quiet any longer. All of my criticisms of their plan feed into my disdain for what they have done to what is now affectionately called Chirac. Point one to their plan? Hiring additional officers. Look, they could hire the entire city of Chicago to the police force, but when they don't allow cops to do their jobs properly, then they're just wasting taxpayer money, which Emanuel is very good at. Like a virgin. Next, they want to offer incentives to developers who bring jobs to high-crime communities. And while I understand trying to bring revenue into a community, a lot of these people are on government assistance. Why would they take a job making little money when the government gives them just as much, if not more, than the job they would take? And they don't have to work for the money the government gives them. Another socialist tendency, government reliance. The third point to their plan involves mentoring for youth in the city's most violent neighborhoods. Local governments across the country, and the federal government for that matter, always want to mentor everyone when what they really do is intentionally misinform these kids into believing what they believe. You notice the government never promotes any program that speaks to people about a two-parent home. That's because the government wants to be your mommy and daddy. Yep, that's socialism. Then they want to strengthen gun laws for repeat offenders. Really, bro? Do they mean the same gun laws that most of the offenders ignored in the first place? And they want to strengthen them for what? I really don't know what other way I can say it so that they can comprehend through their thick and unwavering skulls. But let me repeat myself. Criminals don't register their weapons, so they don't care about their strengthening of any law. They had a couple of other points to their plan, but you get what I'm trying to say here. They constantly do the typical liberal practice of when something doesn't work, double down and throw more money at it. And yet my hometown has constantly repeated the same policies over and over since 1931, expecting a different result. That is the very definition of insanity. It pains me and makes me very sad to see the state my hometown of Chicago is in. I love that city with all my heart, and I detest the politicians for making me disgusted by it. The part that makes me the angriest is that all of this was done to the city on purpose. Make no mistake that these politicians are very calculated in their actions, and despite all of our head scratching and questioning of whether they really know what they're doing, they know exactly what they've done. I blame both Obama, Emanuel, and the 86 years of liberal rule for the racial divide that currently plagues Chicago. It's funny how you are nowhere to be found after the kidnapping and disgusting torture that was just broadcast on Facebook Live. No phone calls, no condemnation, nothing. And you wonder why some people ignore the law? It's because you and others of your ilk actually care nothing at all about the people of Chicago and the entire country, all the while deceiving those same people under the guise of uniting a nation. Chicago and other places like Detroit are a microcosm of what the country will look like if we continue down this path of lawlessness, micromanaging, and socialist tendencies. If drastic changes are not made by Chicago, and soon, I can hear Nero taking his fiddle out of the case. What did you think of this episode of Uncommon Sense? Who do you think should be my next triggered, safe space, easily offended victim? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, check out more on MRC-TV's YouTube page or visit us at mrctv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis, and until next time, don't let your common sense be uncommon.